Hello and hi, welcome to this video, and in this video we'll be talking a little bit about the top life lessons that I've managed to learn from studying art and design. I'll be using this little mic to talk into and my phone to read off of. Ever since I was little I like to draw with a pencil and a paper. I never really thought I'd end up going to school to study art. I expected it of myself. I kind of wanted to go into somewhere, a field where I could help like people or something to do with like healthcare or medicine. One of the things that I learned from studying art was the mistakes and the aspect of drawing or painting or any form of using some art supplies and just like one paper or one pen, and sitting down and getting down to drawing something and mistakes that you make. I remember being really small and I'd get like a little bit angry about the mistakes I'd make, and sometimes what you would, your natural inclination to mistakes is you feel like you regret what you did. You kind of feel like you did something wrong, and it's like, I regret doing it. I regret what I did. It looks like a big mess or whatever. I would have to face the fact that I'm going to make mistakes in what I do, and I'm not going to be perfect, but most importantly, learning how to forgive yourself for those mistakes and that you're not going to always perform at your top, at your best. Turning those mistakes you make into something else that's not a mistake and necessarily wrong, and actually helps you improve yourself, and maybe instead you find out that what you wanted to go your way ended up not going your way, and then actually you're better at something else, and then you learn more about your strengths and your weaknesses through that. How easy some people make painting or drawing or art or graphic design look because of their interpretation of the world and around them, and how they communicate themselves in their own way, and how that looks, and how seeing that inspires you, but at the same time you also think, whoa, like, they make it look so easy, but it's not. It takes like so much willpower and independent pushing. Like, you can't rely on someone to motivate you to do art. You've got to really be able to keep up with it, but it's actually something that you learn from. It's kind of like exercise, I guess, and muscle memory does play a role in art because of the fact that you draw with your hands or you use your hands and stuff like that, and over time you just start to get used to it. And in order for you to get used to certain things, using certain like studio spaces or equipment or tools, you have to make mistakes in order to get to that stage where it's not that difficult for you. Swallow your pride and be able to kind of show up for yourself and say to yourself, like, it doesn't really matter if I'm making mistakes, and actually it's a normal thing, and it wouldn't necessarily, not gonna let yourself down kind of thing, and make it like the influences that play a role in the art that you do. Like, so let's say you're a painter or a drawer or illustrator, and horrific art or art that is a bit scary, you might have an interest in being quite realistic and less abstract, and maybe if you were to do something that's less horrific, you might want to be more abstract and less realistic, so that environment, and you didn't really necessarily expect for it to be that impactful, but you surprise yourself. So how different influences play a role in art, and how it can make it an easier or a more difficult process to get to the end result that you desire. The subject you chose, and the project's name, even the color scheme. For example, you thought, I'm into horror, I want this project to be realistically horrific so that the viewer can, or whoever, the audience or whoever can see the art, can actually sort of interpret it in the way that it's intended for, the purposes that it's intended to be communicated. Start to see it impacts you in your daily life, and like your everyday life, when it has nothing to do with drawing or writing. It does make you think differently. It might spark your interest in reading different books. It does open up your mind and influence you to do things that might be better for you. So sometimes out of the rut you might be in, because of the fact that your influences might be a bit unique, and not many people have that same influence or that same interest. And so it does require you to maybe do a bit more research or give yourself some space to let out stress or like express yourself a bit more. That's a second lesson that I learned. And one more lesson, as like a third lesson, would be a piece of art. Let's say you're painting a picture and you want it to pop and glow the way you want it to go your way, and it doesn't, and you can't do anything about that. And glow and glitter metaphorically in its own way, and show kind of maybe it's a passion project, and it's not necessarily something that's, obviously you get down to painting it and you kind of feel like it didn't really go the way you wanted it to go. And so then what you realize, what I've learned from that kind of experience, from that happening to me, and it's kind of going into the influencers thing, and not knowing what you want to achieve right now and what you want your artwork to be in that project, for it to not go the way that it did go, maybe actually teaches you more about who and what you're actually might be more inclined to be interested in. And actually maybe you're interested in the complete opposite thing. The mental and design process when trying to problem solve, but majority of the time when this is like personal or like a visual identity kind of project, trying to manifest. Again, I don't know why I used the word manifest, but that kind of idea of like trying to represent yourself when you're doing art, that can be quite difficult because maybe you're not that proud of yourself or that confident in your art. But of course, why wouldn't you be? But then how to get there as well, and how accepting that sometimes it not going your way might actually show you that maybe you're better at something else within that. Those are kind of the three major top lessons I've learned studying art, and that's it. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope if it interested you managed to find something that resonated, and if not, well, thank you for listening anyway, and please do give it a like if you found it interesting, and exit if you feel like this kind of content doesn't even interest you at all. But I just, Happy New Year. Like, keep painting and drawing and being creative. Okay, bye.